Hi, my friends. Let's see, make sure this is good. Today I'm going to talk about, the energy balancing with faith, step 3, opening our heart and surrendering the will. I've had a few people ask me about this, so I want to share with you this information, okay? So I want to talk about what it is, why we're doing it, and how to do that. Okay, how we open our hearts and surrendering our will. So if you are struggling right now, you're feeling like you're not enough, you're not exactly happy, you have kids problems and spouse problems, and you don't feel like you're enough, you're not smart enough, pretty enough, skinny enough, that you're struggling with your identity perhaps, or finances. So this might be the video for you, okay? So let's talk about the what of opening your heart and surrendering your will. Okay, our will is the only thing that actually belongs to us, that's truly ours. Okay, our will is our power to choose and create. It's our power to choose and to create. All right, so this energy, okay, is actually, it stems from the heart, our heart. So our heart acts as our life compass. All right, so when we open our heart and we surrender our will to God, we're essentially offering up ourselves so we can be one with God, okay? Basically, our will is swallowed up in God's will, so we are one. So it doesn't mean that we lose our power, it actually means more power, okay? So God never forces us to connect with Him. He never pushes us. He encourages us, right? We have to be willing to surrender our will and submit to Him. And now, some people don't like the word surrender or submit, but I'll tell you it's a good thing, okay? So let's talk about why we want to open our hearts and surrender our will to God. All right, so when our will is swallowed up in God's will, okay, we are enlightened and we are connected to an infinite source of power and wisdom. Don't we all want that? So it's sort of like this object lesson, right? So this is power connected to the power. Okay, it's sort of like us connecting to God. Okay, and now we have access to that power. Okay, so that's basically what it is. All right, so we now have infinite power and potential. We're awakened to that power and potential. We're not acting alone anymore. Okay, so when we're connected to God, He reminds us of our true identity, okay, of our divine path and of our life's purpose. Okay, when we're not on our divine path or doing our life's purpose, we're not going to be happy, right? And so basically, you know, when we are at one with God, He helps us transcend the world so we can be happy. Hi, Carenza. Okay, so now when we're unattached to the social dogmas and cultural trappings of the world, right, our eyes will be opened. We won't be myopic anymore. We will see things the way God sees it. Okay, we see that we're special, you know, and that, you know, this is not the world's identity of us, is not our true identity anymore. Our ears will be open. Right, we'll hear God better, and our heart is open and sensitive to truth. So we're no longer allowing that fear to control us anymore. Okay, so when our heart is open and our will is surrendered, it helps us move out of our head and into our heart. So many people don't know that they're stuck in their heads and that they're operating from here, and they say that they have faith, but they're relying on their own understanding and not on God, okay? So we don't want to do that, all right? So when you're at one with God, you will know, because you'll see the world more in a more simplified way, okay? There is no more them and us separation. There is just us, okay? And we see that there's so many unnecessary sadness and worries in the world. It's like stuff is like, wait, that doesn't have to happen. That doesn't need to be there. Okay. And then we see solutions. we feel very enlightened, okay? So how do we do this? Surrender to God, right? So when we learn to unattach and surrender to God, we are able to do what Abraham did. Okay, so in the scriptures, Abraham was asked to sacrifice Isaac. Okay, so in the course that I teach, the Energy Balancing with Faith course, I teach people how to do the Abraham and Isaac Heart's Priority Challenge, because that story was about God helping Abraham reorganize the priorities of his heart. Okay, so 3 steps. Listen up. The first step is to identify anything that you hold higher than God. Okay, so you can write this down. Okay, our goal is to be able to walk away from things easily at any time. Be ready to come home to God at any time. Okay, but if you're still attached to things, you need to write those things down. Okay, those things that you're attached to. It could be the finances, it could be the kids, the family situation that you're in. It could be thinking that things could have been this way. It could have been your lifetime accumulation of achievements, of wealth, of stuff. Okay, all of that becomes idol, even our children, when it holds a higher position than God. Okay, the higher position in our heart than God. Okay, and guess what? Those things will make us stressed and time poor. Okay, when we rearrange that priority, the opposite is the result. Okay, we will have this life and liberation and lightness. So that's number 1, just identify it. Okay, number 2, this is the kicker. We need to put all of those things on the altar. Okay, and in your mind, you need to imagine losing it all. Okay, it is so painful. It will make you cry your eyeballs out. Okay, but imagine it being gone. Surrender. Surrender. Let it go. It's on the altar, just like Abraham did it. And he had to fully let that go. Imagining that it is going to be gone. Imagining that your Isaac is gone. Okay? Right, then you'll have the faith. So step number 3 is have faith, right? You have the faith that he knows best. For some reason, that if you give everything back, it's going to be better, okay? So he will take care of it better than you. He will take care of your finances better than you, your children, your spouse, everyone, everything that you think should have, could have, whatever. It's going to be better than your ideas, okay? So you have to ask yourself some honest questions. Do you have enough faith to let God have it all? Hand all of it back to God. Okay, do you trust that he knows better? Okay, do you trust that he can create more joy, more abundance, more power, more health, more everything for you? Because he's got your back, right? Do you truly believe? Okay, because what we are doing as humans, we want comfort. We want to be safe and secure and comfort. Okay, we need to surrender that, because if we focus on progression over comfort, comfort will come. All the money and the time and the health and stuff will come. Things will fall into place. Things will happen as it should. Okay, and then you'll feel that peace and power, and that's when you know you've done it right. You just feel peace and power. Okay, there's no more of the worries and the stress anymore. Okay, you feel light and liberated. You're liberated from the world. You feel transcended. Okay, and it's amazing. And your physical body will lose the weight, and you'll physically feel it and see it in your family and homes. Okay, and it might, take time to see it all and for it all to happen, but it will follow. Okay, so I'll give you some examples of what I've experienced. So many times in my life, God has given me this opportunity to do the Abraham and Isaac Heart's Priority Challenge. Okay, so the first one was, I was in college in Australia. I was studying law, and I was studying law and international studies. Okay, and for a Vietnamese family, they feel very proud, and I'm checking them boxes. I've never disappointed my parents. I've done everything I could to be super obedient. Okay, and pleasing to my family. Oldest daughter of the oldest son of the oldest daughter. in the clans on both sides. Okay, and so Heavenly Father tells me, go to America, study elementary education. And I thought, what? That's different. Oh, okay. I might disappoint people and I might make people angry and mad and everything. But, after a while, I had to surrender. I had to let that go. Okay, so I did that. And it was so painful getting on that plane, leaving all that behind. How am I going to be fed? How am I going to make ends meet? Whatever. Okay, all of that was my concern. But I had to surrender and let that go. And hey, I did well. And then when I was about to be engaged, same thing. My dad wanted to disown me because he was shocked. And again, God says, who do you love more? Me or your best friend, which is my dad at the time. Okay, so again, I had to surrender, and it was so painful because that was my thing. That was my Isaac, right? And again, when I became a mother, all I wanted to do was check those boxes. Good mothers do this and good mothers do that. I mean, I taught my kids how to read when they were 3. By the time they were 3, they were reading. Make sure they do dance, make sure they do all of these things, piano, and it was just like so much stuff, okay? And God says, okay, I want you to lessen that, and I want you to go to work now. And I thought, what? I'm there 24/7 for my kids. I can't do this. No. And so when I started working, right, he introduced me to my career, which is what I'm doing right now, right? And, I remembered on the plane putting my kids on the altar, and then thinking about them and everything that I have, my home, my husband, everything. And I'm going where he wants me to go and doing what he wants me to do. And I said to him, they're all yours. And I had to imagine it all going up in flames and just surrendering fully to him. It's so painful because I'm like, if I come home to nothing, what am I going to do? And I had to be okay with that. I had to surrender. And it was liberating because I was able to focus on the work that I need to do and be fully connected to him. I had to surrender my pride from my career. It was amazing career, but I let that go. And then in between careers, when I was asked to quit, my husband didn't get a job yet. And then here's this security that we held on to. And God says, are you finding security in money or in me? And I thought, of course, I have to surrender that because I need to show me my level of faith. I am secure in God. The money is not my security. It is not my God. Okay? And then a couple of months later, my husband was employed. My business grew. Okay, I've proven my faith. Okay. And then we had to move countries in between in the last 20 years. We had to move countries 5 times. And every time we moved, God says, you don't need that. You don't need that. Okay, I'll provide that. I'll provide that. So over and over, we had to let go of the worldly goods and worldly stuff, right? Who does this, right? It doesn't make sense because we have to buy it again. I don't want to be wasteful, but God's like, wait, hang on. Who do you love more? Do you love me or do you love the stuff? All right, and over, I had to trust that if I like that and if I want that again, He's going to provide. And within a short time, we had everything we left behind and more. Like short as in like 2 years, really. And, my kids have learned that. And it's a wonderful learning opportunity to learn how to surrender and to be unattached and open up your hearts. So, what about people who don't know about energy balancing with faith? What if they don't know what to do to surrender? Well, they will. Okay, God's got their backs, trust me. All right. When they experience their divine discontent, their sickness, their sorrows, their insecurities, that's an opportunity for them to surrender to God. Okay, they will. You look in the scriptures, Joseph of Egypt, Noah, and all those prophets of old, they all had to learn to surrender to God. Okay, to get rid of their limited, unsupportive, false beliefs. okay, their head, and then realign themselves back to God again in the heart. All right. So now that you know how to do this, what can you expect when you're done learning about the surrendering your will and opening your heart up? What do you expect will happen after that? Well, when you've done this well enough, right, you'll get to the point where all you want to do is, go out into the world and cry repentance and preach the word of God, and this great desire in your heart, it doesn't go away. It's so much. You want to consecrate the rest of your life to God. You want to do what He wants you to do, because everything that you've done that is in alignment to Him has brought you so much joy and power and peace, right? You have such a high tolerance for joy and light. You want to create miracles every day. You say, well, that's not in. Let's change that. Let's make this happen, right? You have such a low tolerance for drama because you're like, that's not necessary. What the heck, right? And then you see your mission as bigger than you, okay? That everybody's mission is greater than them, okay? You see your part in the great whole. So to the essential oil users, all right, tip, use oregano and thyme to help you disconnect and unattach and be humble, okay? The true meaning of humility is just surrender to God. It's not impoverishing yourself and making yourself look poor, or, creating dramas in your life so you can look like you're poor in spirit, okay? We have to just open our hearts up to learn from God, okay, and to be refined, and that's humility. Okay, so the physical, in case you don't know how humble or prideful you are, the physical signs, okay, of a lack of humility or holding on to negativity are the invaders, the toxins, the parasites, the fungus inside of us, okay? When we take over, when we allow and make room for this inside of our souls, okay? So, also the high tolerance of drama, okay? If you allowed all these dramas and things and people, toxic things, people to come into your life, well, that's a sign that we need to rise above that and have more light in our lives. Okay, my friends, my inspiration, my motivation are my kids, right? I want to teach them how to fully surrender to God. I want to teach them how to open their hearts up. So, when this happens, their faith will grow as well. And that's the best thing as a mother that I can give them. Okay, an example. All right. And guess what? When that happens, we let go of control. They will feel that we trust them. They will feel more empowered too, because they are connecting to God and they are using their power and inspiration, okay? So the burden's off our shoulders. So my friends, if you are interested in learning more about this, please join me in the Energy Balancing with Faith course. It's go to my website and find out more information about that. And I have a special treat and gift for you. If you are interested, please book a time with me, PM me, and I will give you 20% off a session with me, okay? So private message me somewhere, somehow, okay? And I will give you a link where you have 20% off a session with me, so you can have a feel of how it is to, surrender your will a lot more and to open up your eyes and open up your hearts to God, okay? Like I said, it's light liberation, okay? So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me and watching this. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and friend and like me on Facebook and Instagram. Till next time, lots of love, light and healing to you. Bye for now.